Welcome back, Rad Life Pineapple Leaf. In this, we're going to do a breakdown run through of Napa Marathon, March 1st, 2026. Got a bunch of chocolate, hopefully that's not showing on my teeth. Finisher medal wasn't the goal. This was, if I have to classify which goal I hit out of my A, B, and C goal, it would be my D goal, not my C goal. It was a bittersweet marathon. And in post-marathon, all about recovery. Got the infrared CEP compression socks. These are one of my best friends when it comes to recovery. You can even kind of put these over the knees, which I do a lot of the time. And I even have the CEP full compression leg sleeves from top to bottom, all the way down to the footsies for recovery. Cringe warning, when I do stuff like this, it's because I'm hunting for siwy thumbnails. But not wooey dough. So I guess I'll try to go from the beginning to end. Coming off of CIM 2 years ago, in 2024, I carried over that run into 2025 March Napa Marathon in 2025, and carried that run with a base training of kind of like not a lot of speed miles. I was worried going into last year's 2025 Napa Marathon thinking I didn't do enough speed work, but I think because I carried over, I took that 2024 CIM in December, and I kind of just maintained that base fitness and kind of rolled it over. Not like I kept the mileage really high, but I didn't do anything crazy, so I was able to recover while maintaining fitness. Stacking high mileage, your base, is most important in consistency. And one of the things I'm doing even right now in this post-marathon is just completely recovery. It's March 10th and I still haven't ran a single mile, because that is where a lot of people do get injured, is they want to get back into after marathon. Say if you're someone like me and you weren't satisfied with the results, you know, I've done this before to where I got back into my training a little too quick, and I never really fully let myself heal, hence why I had left calf issues. In this recent marathon in Napa, again, that was a big deal that popped up mile 17 onward. I thought my calf was going to blow in CIM 2025 marathon. I had a lot of issues. The number one being I had an infected toe, and I had to go get see my doctor emergency status. I would say it was about 1 week prior. I really had to cut back my taper. I only did 2 runs before the marathon, so I didn't get to do the full taper of consistency of each day, getting at least a couple miles in, but I did do some cycling, which helped. So I think that may have hurt me. Also, I will most likely be putting footage and pictures of the infected toe from the beginning stages to the end after the marathon. I did lose the nail. It got infected. It was so bad I had to be on antibiotics for a week. 4 pills a day. It was no joke, and my doctor was worried about me getting sepsis, because with that kind of intense marathon race, you know, that's a lot of blood volume pumping, and you know, it can push that infection all the way through all your organs, organ shutdowns. People die from that. So it was no joke. So I had a lot of anxiety going into this run. I had a lot of anxiety going into this marathon race day. My running stressies were acting up. My knees, my calf, in the run. It was a headwind the whole time, and the one bad thing about this marathon, one of the cons about this marathon, is that there's less people, so in CIM you're going to be blocked more from that wind. This was a complete headwind the whole entire time, and it was just total war out there. It was was that quote where that ultramarathon runner and marathon runner talks about how the marathon is like a test to prove whether or not you're a coward, and just be able to show up, go through it anyway. Through that war, that individual war with yourself, is one of life's biggest tests, and the marathon gives us that war. I would say to all these elites who want to start wars all around the world, at a minimum, they should be forced to go run a marathon in a specific time. And then even after finishing the marathon, we tell them no afterwards, and then we're like, "Hey, we trick you," and they say, "Hey, you tricked me." Suffering is flamethrowers, both of them, the vegan cashew goat style and the vegan pimento cheese on the everything bagels, hella good. And I already had some food earlier, some treats. Nothing wrong with treating yourself, enjoying yourself. Got it at Joey Life, and gonna have some pasta afterwards. But this is the start of the main course, and probably having some dessert afterwards before the rest of the marathon setup. Hopefully, I can sleep and do not get the pre-night terror, marathon jitters, anxious nervousness, stress mess. That should be put in the law that all these world leaders who want to start wars
Napa Marathon 2026
and inflict suffering unto others should have to, very first step, pass the marathon test and finish.
What up?
And I would pretty much say there would be almost no marathons. Once they start electing me, the pineapple cult leader, to the next world leader, so because they just can't stop warring. But I think about it, people. That's something Joey 2026 wants to enact.
Part 2, cooking up the
Joey 2026 for president, and then all power to the people. Dismantle capitalism.
Hell yeah.
So in the I did carry. So I think one of my biggest problems for let me just get this out of the way. It wasn't a complete failure of a marathon. I didn't get my goal, which was 2:55. I was trying to go for maybe right under 2:55, like a 6:39 pace chip time, and I didn't hit that goal. My second goal would just be another PR under my chip time in CIM, which was 2 hours, 58 minutes, and 34 seconds, and that also didn't happen. And my C goal was at least just get another sub 3. That is kind of a hit or miss because I got the Strava GPS sub 3, but I did not get the chip time Boston qualification sub 3, and it was really close. I mean, I should probably be proud of myself considering what I accomplished. I ran a 2 hours, 59 minutes, and 35 seconds GPS, my second best time, so I did get the sub 3 for Strava, but I did not get the chip time sub 3. I was clocked in chip time at 3 hours and 41 seconds. And as you'll see in a lot of the footage I'm going to post in here, I had to pace myself again like I did last year in Napa to my PR. Last year I got a 3:02:36 or something like that in Napa. And that was a Strava time, so it might have been 3:03 or something. I don't know. Chip time. But, considering what I was going through, I had a really stressful night previous. I had a really stressful week. I've been just taking on a lot of stress on the body on top of probably the most driving I've ever done in my life. Not been helping my issues, my stressies. I've been having bad pain kind of through this area a lot. Yeah, driving does not help that, and I've been trying to figure out how to alleviate that kind of pressure. The infected toe, my nails came off. I think I should have probably cut that seal. It was I cut it after a week. I think my nails were pounding, curled. That's a problem I have when I run sometimes. I think my toes naturally, maybe not naturally, I don't know, curl. And I kind of put a lot of slamming on them. And so I get black and belt blue nails, had a blood blister I think under it. So it kind of blistered and comes out the seal, and I finally cut into it a week later, and all this clear liquid came out. So it wasn't bad in that sense, but I think all the times I was I think working all the time and not binging all the time, I always had my feet wrapped in socks, and it just kind of festered in there, it was started to infest, and I cut it, all that, I drained it out, and I kept pushing out, and some blood was coming out from that from that blister underneath the toenail, and the toenail was kind of already coming off. I should have pulled it off because I looked at the internet and it said not to. Only have a doctor do that, but it was so barely hanging on there. I think that trapped a lot of that stuff in there and didn't get to breathe out, and all that, all those all the liquid and stuff inside just ruminated and just really kind of like saturated, and after a while it started to, I could see the little bits of, I could see the sides coming off and kind of like getting yellow infection crust, and it started to smell. And that's when I really knew that, and seeing a little bit of reds on the sides, a little bit of red on the side wasn't like a worst case scenario, but it was not good. If you come into that situation, see a doctor immediately. You need to get on antibiotics, and antibiotics really mess you up. They cause muscle fatigue. They can cause a lot of aching in your joints. They pull a lot of stuff out of your joints, which can make you more injury prone, and it just makes you more tired, and it can mess up your gut because it kills all the bacteria, period. So it throws off your whole entire system to where, like, even when you're running, it's going to be pushing more blood flow into your stomach into other areas. So it's really going to be a hindrance on your goals for a marathon race. I kind of had everything working against me at this point, and I did more of a 2-week taper, and I think in this training block I carried over all of the stuff I needed to do that I was already doing prior to CIM, which was, and you can go back and watch my CIM video on how I felt, and I thought I was going to have the same exact thing happen this time, to where I carried over that run from the previous CIM into that previous March marathon into this one. But my biggest problem is I think I had a little bit of ego running going on, because I think I thought that, oh, I can consistently, from the beginning of the year all the way up to the taper, I'm just going to run 50, 50, 50 minimum. So I was hitting all these, I hit like over 5 straight weeks of like mid-50s while cycling, mile running weeks, while always hitting my long run, minimum 2 hours or more. And I hit like all my speed session workouts at marathon pace. I had 2 workouts where there were sprints. I did mix in some strides into some of my runs when I was feeling better. So I got the speed work in. I was feeling confident in that. I only had 1 run over 20 miles. It was kind of a rough one. And the second run that I needed to hit over 20 miles, yeah, it was a rough one. I did not hit that mark, and that was supposed to be my last 20-mile long run. It was supposed to be minimum 17-21 mile long run before Napa 2026. I had to go to the bathroom a lot before the run, and I also had to go to the bathroom on the run. I started like getting really cold after, I think once I hit like mile 9, it was like I was getting really cold. Like, it was weird. My body was like messed up or something from stress, overdoing it. And I had to go off in the bushes at night, and I had to go make it happen, figure it out, squatty potty, and use a little bit of the leaves and grass, and I kind of had a little bit of a rash because I tried getting a few more miles in after that. So I think my last long run before the marathon was like 15 miles, and I kept having to stop and reach on my shoe, and like I had to pee a lot. And before the run too, it was really weird. My body was really out of it. And like I said previously, is I think I hit way too many mid-50s, and after 3 weeks of increasing your mileage, even if you're feeling good, you need to dial it back the next week and do a deload. I did not do that. I just kept pushing the next 2 weeks, thinking like, oh, 50s are easy, like for me at this point, like. But a telltale sign that it wasn't easy and that I was feeling the cumulative fatigue was in those 5 mid-50 weeks or whatever they were. Around Santa Rosa, Sonoma County, you're getting a lot of elevation gain, etc. And while I'm cycling, on top of that, and working full time, I think I had 1 Muay Thai session, and I was really rusty, in my opinion, because, well, I'm also not as good with the lefts. I just need to get more rhythm than that. The left double jab thing, that one is like hard for me, in particular. I knew it was not good when I did the 3 weeks, I didn't come back, I was like, oh, I can just do another 50. And I kind of figured, oh, I should be feeling better with these last 2 weeks, and I will hit a 60 to 70 miles. Like, I usually will hit at least one of those at a minimum before in my marathon training blocks. And this was like a really weird training block, because it it was just 5 weeks because of recovering from CIM, my PR, sub 3 Boston qualification. So I think after CIM I was running, but it was like really low volume, trying to recover. Probably I was doing more Zwift. It was like raining a lot and storming a lot, which I did do runs in. I always run in the rain. I've ridden in the rain, mountain biked, road biked, but this was the first year where I've been trying to take, I kind of celebrating in the sense of, I'm going to take this winter off a little bit. I've always had dried out, bleeding, cracked hands that hurt all the time, because I always am like, you know what, I need to feel the elements of the weather. It makes you stronger. It helps you prepare for anything out there. Like even just now, earlier today, I went on a 27-mile bike ride. It was like 26.7 and 35 plus 100 feet of elevation gain, 3.5K, and I did I did 2 times Los Alamos and then some on the other side and back of Los Alamos as well. Did that once, and it was really fun. I haven't got to touch speed in a while outside on a bicycle, hitting 40, miss those 50-mile-an-hour days, 40 pluses. Yeah, so the fact that I just kept pushing 50s while doing everything else I was doing, driving a lot, taking all these other things, dealing with a lot of stress, affected toe, all these stresses that I'm trying to heal from, like trying to keep up on like the stuff I need to keep up on, work, my training, and I could not, and my body was feeling too taxed, was feeling too overworked, to the point that I could not run a 60 to 70 mile a week. Like, could I have if I really wanted to? Yeah, but like that would have been like pushing it extra. So, and the whole point was I was like in my head, keep it conservative. This is easy for you. You're hitting your long runs, you're hitting your speed workouts. What else do you need? I was thinking is this gonna carry over better than last year. I had like how many miles did I have? I had like 365 like miles before the marathon, heading in maybe into the taper or something. And so I think before the marathon if the year ended, I would have had a mile for each day of the year already ran. So yeah, feeling pretty confident. My speed workouts went well. The full sprint day, those zone 5 to 6 speed workouts really are what sets me back the most of feeling the stresses and being more injury prone. So the second one I did a sprint. It was like closer to the marathon. Like I did a hill sprint, because the elevation in hill sprints, it simulates sprinting, even though it's gonna be slower, because it's taking off the full blown pavement paneling on the flats of speed, and it's putting the elevation to where it's like less impact. So if you want to do sprint workouts and are feeling like you're already feeling the accumulative fatigue, you can do sprint workouts. You can do hill sprints, and you're getting the same effort effect, except for you're gonna have like less injury prone. But I still felt like more like I was flirting on the line of injury at that point, because there was sometimes within this marathon build to where my right knee, I had some runner's knee, but it was like acute kind of sharp pains, like in the front and sides and stuff, like those twinges that were like a little more like that were catching my attention, that my brain waves were a lot more attuned to. And I just also being on antibiotics can also inflame you. So it was just kind of hard for me to also get back down a few extra pounds, to be a little lighter for that race, to where you're just feeling a little more pep in your step. Like I felt like more heavy, puffy, and like not as like light, nimble, and fast on that run for that marathon. It was like kind of uncomfortable, and I think that antibiotics played a part in that, like maybe a significant part. So I'm feeling that way a little bit right now, because I just ate a ton of food. So I'm just like, I got my chip on cheeks like. So, that's kind of the lead up to the marathon. Everything was going swimmingly well. The pros were my base mileage, hitting all my targets of speed workouts and the long run. So consistency is most important. Base mileage most important. Then your long run is your vegan bread and butter, and then your speed workouts. So I was doing all right, but the cons of feeling the cumulative fatigue and not being able to push more, just feeling like a little more exhausted, even though I was pushing through with the almighty pushes. That should have been a sign that I should have that I needed to take a deload and maybe just kept the mileage high on the bike. And that's what I've been doing post-marathon too. I've been recovering on the bike, haven't ran a single mile yet, because that's where people can get injured. The bike is an incredible tool for recovery and while keeping and maintaining your fitness. So, oh, and the other thing too is my Garmin watch was predicting another 3 hour, 20 plus minute. It was like 20 minutes and change. I don't remember how many seconds it was. Prediction for a marathon, so that was obviously way off again. I ran 20 minutes faster than that. Or like almost 20, and but the thing that was I thought kept me more confident for this race is that my Strava this time, I was looking at it compared to CIM, it said that I was more fit going into this marathon, like by 5 points, my fitness score, than CIM. So I don't know if it was all the stress and all the weeks building up to it, and then being on antibiotics, like I was just doing too much, really set me back. I didn't hit my A, B, or C goal. I like sort of hit my C goal, like on Strava I did, but doesn't count. Like I needed the chip time. Bittersweet. In my second best marathon ever, at least I did it, and I suffered greatly. It was like my David Goggins moment, running with antibiotics, infected toe, and everything else I was doing. And like I said, smaller crowd for that race, so more of a headwind. You're solo out there a lot, running in big open gaps, and it was like my boy Bobby Rogers said, like he felt the headwind the whole entire time too. Like it was probably I don't know if there was like any breaks in that headwind. I would say it was maybe a little bit. It was probably like 90% headwind. And also the another con is of the Napa Marathon. It is a faster course, and it's like over 500 feet of elevation gain. It's an overall net downhill, but over 26 miles, it's like not that. It's negligible when you really think about it. But there were some big like hills. Like when we were driving back, thanks for the ride again,
Emily and Bobby.
I really appreciate that ride. I was hurting in a myriad of ways at that point, so I really appreciate that ride, and my miscommunication kind of made it a longer ride. But when we were driving back, we're like, man, these hills like are pretty steep. There was a lot of like big hill climbs, and there are studies on this to where rolling hills in marathons are technically harder than fast courses that are completely flat. I mean, nothing's really completely flat, but like when they're comparing it to Chicago, I think Valencia is another really fast course. Tokyo, there's like 200 feet of elevation gain throughout 26.2 miles. So it's like nothing. It's almost pancake flat. And they do show that in those types of marathons, in Chicago where they're flat compared to rolling hills, even though you have a net downhill like CIM or like Napa is, and Napa has less net downhill than CIM, but it's still a really fast course. Santa Rosa is kind of the same thing. Santa Rosa is a great marathon. I'd say if you're around this area, Santa Rosa, it would be CIM is fastest, then Napa, and then Santa Rosa. I got Santa Rosa coming up in August, and then CIM I got the gold package because they were almost sold out. I made a snap decision. I'm like, you know what? I'm not satisfied. What if Santa Rosa doesn't go well? I want to have that CIM course available to me. So I got the most expensive package, and I can always defer to 2027 if Santa Rosa goes well. Sorry, I know I'm getting off track. I know I'm getting off course like those USATF road runners who were diverted by the pacer, and the LA Marathon Kenyan runner who lost by less than 1 second to the American because his Kenyan fans came on the course with a flag, and which diverted him off course. So it was kind of ironic that these fans were displaying their fandom of Kenya, and they ruined this guy's race because he lost in less than a second at the end. Epic. It was an epic finish. Like seriously, it was like the guy came back. He was the guy who was off course by like 6 seconds because of those fans. Got back on the course, went straight instead of the right because they kind of like veered off and pushed him off to the side of the road. And they didn't push him, but it was just chaos. Luckily, the event organizers got back really quick, and yeah, those like 6 seconds. I mean, the guy should not have done that. He was coming up really. He barely had anything left in the tank at the end, and he collapsed on the finish line as the other guy came up sprinting at the end and took the first place.
And this is the finished product, just really quick and easy.
Started to get off course like those two did. I'm
Had a few of these crunchy guys, crunchy munchy dudes, and
I'm also pretty exhausted.
yeah, I got the
had that bike ride after my work.
daring vegan chicken,
Greatest sleep recently.
salsa, guac, and hella corn. I do have some of the Vivo Life Sour Cream, but I think I'm just going to keep it really simple, lower fat, and just keep it like this with the healthy fat of the guac. And just keep it kind of athletic. A little bit of taste weird. Shut up. Oh, and this Jenny's vegan ice cream is probably my favorite. It's so damn good. My grandma loved lemon desserts. Lemon bars bomb.
You'll be able to carry your wildest dreams across the finish line. Plant power. Where was I? As I got off course. Coming into the race, I had my kit laid out. It had a really stressful night the night previous, a lot of anxiety, and I was just like, I was almost in this like, what's it called? Like like in a paralysis almost, and I was like just moving like, I was like barely moving, and I kind of had to do some things to get my mind right. Took me way too long to get everything set up. I had a lot of anxiety. I got like 4 hours of sleep the night before, which can be very typical. I also had paranoia. I think a little bit. Paranoia is where when you're in the taper, you start thinking you're injured in a lot of ways when you're not. I also think it's because inflammation might be rising up a little bit, building because you're not training through as much and getting that blood flow, and motion is lotion, and when you're running, which releases synovial fluid and human growth hormone as much. So you're also recovering, so you should also. Sometimes I have felt better. Like I think before CIM, I was like feeling like I was like more confident because I was feeling better. I didn't have like full blown paranoia and like stressies fatigue. Yeah, this time was pretty bad, and there was a lot of reasons for that. So, that feels good on the hip, and the glute. So, I drove there because it's less than a half-hour drive from Santa Rosa to the start line. You start in Calistoga and it ends in Napa. Ends at a Napa high school, and it starts in Calistoga off
Brannan Street, Silverado Trail.
26.2 to the Napa location, and luckily it rained the week before. It didn't rain the day of, and it was actually a little warmer towards the end of that race. Like, honestly, a little too warm for my liking. I kind of wish it was like 4 degrees cooler throughout, on average. Like, the fact that I wasn't shivering at the start line like I usually do was a sign that it was not the greatest PR weather. Like, I don't need to be shivering, but I don't need to be like that. I knew it was going to be warmer at the end of that 3 hours. And so I got there kind of late, and not exactly, I got there before the start climb, but the porta potty lines were massive. Like, I was sitting in there, and I should have some footage here right now. And it's not like CIM where you can just run off like I did, to where like a lot of people could just go off in the dark bushes and poop because there's so many places you can go that aren't the porta potties. But by the time it was 7:30 and the start line went off, and there was I think a 2:55 pacer, everyone took off. I didn't get to go to the bathroom until like 2 minutes afterwards. After the line, or I don't exactly know the exact timeline. It's not that important, but I didn't cross the start line until like until 7:37. So and I can put that right here. I have footage of that of me in the porta potty. I just knew, I was like, man, this is really rough. If only I just would have gotten here another 10 minutes early, because I set my alarm clock like enough. I just couldn't get myself going. Like, it just seems like everything's on slow-mo the night before when you're getting ready, and when you're getting ready in the morning with all the KT tape, which was useless anyway. It all peeled off, and that's the pro stuff too. Taking a shower before the marathon, I started doing that like 3 years ago, has helped a lot, and it makes your skin more dry once you're fully dry afterwards for the KT tape to hold. but it just comes off. I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore. And inside CIM, I ran in the A6 Metaspeed Tokyo Sky Tokyo, and I just thought, you know what, I'm not gonna go with the Pro 4 because the Sky Tokyo is my PR shoe. So now it's got my 2 best marathon times on it, just like the Alphafly 3 had my 2 best times before it. And I won't be probably using that for my next marathon. I'll probably, as of right now, if I had to choose, I'm really liking the reviews on this Hoka CLO 3.0. I really like the fact that the stack height in the middle, they kind of curb the 40 millimeter rule in the heel. So they put like 38 in the heel, but the mid to forefoot has way more stack, like max stack, like way more protective. So it's not gonna like, it's gonna be, especially for us bigger runners. Like I'm over 6 feet tall. Like, you know, on race day was over 170. I probably ran that race at like, I was probably weighed in at like 173, which I wanted to be less than that. I'm gonna be going for something like that that feels really protective, fast, and bouncy, and like what I was more looking for. It is going to be a little more on the heavy end, but I think the Hoka CLO 3.0 has more stack height than the Alphafly 3 and a little lighter. So like, what you're getting in foam is like so far in the pro category that max cushion racer is like, I'm probably going to get that unless something blows it out of the water. That's like, or unless something is significantly more obvious before August Santa Rosa Marathon instead of that.
Calories aren't super.
So, I guess the other thing too is that.
Let's try this out, see if it's any good. I'm just more curious than anything. I'm not really trying to.
The other thing too is
definitely more environmentally free.
Across the finish line, I remember to hit the start on the watch like well before the start line. I'm literally having to run through like all the like slower runners. I'm having to run through all the runners where the goal pace is, you know, all the way at the very end. To try, I think my thought process was if I can catch the sub 30 marathon sign, that means I'll PR. Like even if I just stay with them the whole time, I'll PR more just by doing that because I caught up to them because it was going to be by minutes and minutes. So it was going to be like what I need. And so what I did was that really set me back though is the way marathons are measured for 26.2 miles is by every turn it's to like the point of the straightest points of where you're running. So if you are like veering, like if you're running around people and you're like weaving and dodging and stuff, and you're having to like cut over a lot through people, and you're just having to be really like cognizant and aware of people all the time, it's gonna add a lot of time to your overall marathon race. Like you're never running just 26.2. So like let's say if you take every turn at its worst in a marathon, if you were to like not take it like from turn to turn, they measure it like in straight lines to where it is exactly going to be 26.2 in the most efficient way. As they're doing the race. If you don't take that turn specifically like perfectly, and you take it at the widest angle, you're getting 40 feet right there in that turn. So unless you're running perfect, you're not running 26 feet, you're always running more than that. So, and going through all those people, it was one of the least favorite ways I wanted to run the marathon. And trying to focus sleep and kind of my, like, and I have myself to blame. I should have shown up probably way more earlier than I did because I, was planning on having to go to the bathroom. My body's pretty good with that. I did go to the bathroom number 2 like 2 or 3 times in the morning as I was getting ready, so that was kind of odd for me. That doesn't typically happen in marathon. I usually like go once and then once and 4 bodies, but that morning was at least 3, which I think were like, and they were antibiotic poops too, so like they weren't really solid for like the whole entire week and a half. Not only are you weaving through a lot of people, and if you don't run it completely perfect, you're adding on extra distance, and considering how close I was in that marathon, I needed every second I could, and I did a disservice to myself. We're all on the even playing field. I just happened to make it harder on myself. I'm not trying to say some special snowflake and had like disadvantages. It was just a lot of adversity I had to go through, which was, some of them were my mistakes with not knowing how to deal with the situation because I haven't been in that position before. And and I gaffed that one. So, you know, I don't exactly consider it. It was just really poor timing that it had to happen before the marathon. I wish I would have learned through that in my training. And the other thing about the course too is and like Bobby noticed this too when I brought her up, is you're running up the hills, and there's always, it's like always at a slant, or a lot of the course is kind of like angled at a slant. So when you're running downhill, you're kind of like doing this thing where you're like chopping. It's kind of like almost like you're having to do like this like wavy chop thing, like you're on the sea or something, because you're not running straight flat. You're just like, you're doing this thing where you're uneven, and so you're going downhill, and it's at an angle, like very wide turn. And I know that Napa says that the turns are always like are all the end, but I mean you're just going through these like very like long, like, yeah, they're not like 90-degree angle turns, but they're like there's these very elongated turns, or choppy, like, so you're just for more experienced runners, like it's you know, the rolling hills, we can handle, or we can handle a little better, and we know how to run on those weird choppy roads with a lot of lifetime mileage, but it's not ideal. That's another con of the Napa Marathon. And so far it sounds like I'm being like a little too negative. I think I'm just being more negative of beating myself up over the timing of everything. It's a great course, and I highly recommend it. I'm gonna do Napa again at some point. I got a course record on March 1st, but I'm not satisfied. I'm not satisfied until I run Boston. So I was at least hoping for another official sub-3 chip time. Like I said, I can't be too hard on myself.
Friends, not food.
Second best marathon on antibiotics.
I am vegan.
Hurt knee, etc. So I also wore compression sleeves again, as you can see in this video. And
wow,
the leg sleeves,
what an epic day.
I'm
so glad I chose
a
trail run
as they did in CIM. I felt like
myself
a little too puffy in certain areas.
after my sub-3 Boston qualification.
I think it was just like
Marathon CIM
like
2025.
inflamed, puffy feeling.
December 7th. It is now December
really
24th. But
and if I
what a
did
beautiful,
again,
over the top,
epic. They just everything was just off. Like, it just felt uncomfortable. I don't know if I'll be running with calf sleeves again. I'm kind of wanting to run a marathon in full compression leg sleeves. To keep those muscles really more intact as I'm, pavement pounding,
or
as I'm running with all that impact from the pavement. Keep my muscles in place, so less shock going through my bones, muscles, and tendons and stuff all throughout the race. Like a marathon, when you're trying to like take it seriously and PR it, it is a lot of stress on your body, and yeah. So and I'm still feeling it. And so in the taper though, I did take a little bit of time before and after the race to do strength training. I did my strength training routine. I've been really trying to catch up on that, because I've been letting it slide too much in my blocks to where it's like a month instead of every 2 weeks, because I'm trying to take the marathon as a priority in effort. Effort is a sign of caring and priority, and my care and priority was the marathon. That kind of took the back burner, but I got my strength training before the marathon, and I got it just now 3-4 days ago. And today was the first day I felt like really good as a cyclist. It was like my first real like effort. I might be doing too much on the bike already. Post marathon, getting the feel like on all those climbs, like the full rotation as you're going up. Really, like, something that my doctor said a long time ago is the great thing about when you're getting to recover on a bicycle is you're building those all those little different knee muscles that makes your knees strong to carry yourself through running. Is really important to take some time off, let your body heal from the running impact stresses, and to build those knee muscles and maintain fitness through the bicycle, to where, like, if you're on the bicycle, like, when you're running on these marathon blocks, like 10 hours is a lot per week. On a bicycle, you can, like, if you're taking it crazy seriously, like, you can hit 30 hours. Like, you can just be on a bike way longer than you can running. So don't take for granted like some of those really long rides where, like, if you are doing it right, you're pushing yourself, doing hills, and you're adding sprints in there, or just pushing the pace a little bit. Like, you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna build your cardiovascular system. I think that's what made my transition into running a lot easier than to where some people, I've never ran a sub-3. I, at my older age, 39, like, got my first sub-3. Yeah, it's the bicycle is probably arguably the greatest tool ever invented for fitness and freedom, and it is just a symbol of you can ride a bike anywhere. pretty much mountain to road. And in running is great too to add to your toolbox, because like my legs, like running is not only the base for every sport pretty much, or most of them at least. It's the only thing that humans are the best at in the world over anything is endurance running, long distance running. Humans are only the best at that over every other animal in the world. And these legs can take me anywhere. Pretty much most sports can't say the same. Like the fitness of running, like you can run like literally anywhere. Like I can get to any mountain, and I can get to more area coverage as a runner than any other exercise of adventure sport in the world, period. And you're just gonna have way better fitness to do so. And it's also gonna be very therapeutic, test you mentally, test you physically, burns the most calories per minute out of any other sport in the world. It's really like, yeah, it's not as dangerous as cycling, and it's not gonna be like as fun when it comes to speed and skill. But that's the thing I like about running is I didn't think I'd be like, oh, this isn't gonna be as fun. I'll never like give up cycling. But like now I'm like almost to the point where I love running more than anything, because I think it's the fact that it's so hard of why I like it. Like it's so challenging, and you want to know your body, do running more than any other thing. It teaches you how to push your body beyond the limits, full blown, like up to that line of like not getting injured. And
Running all your paces from easy to fast also teaches you a lot about your body and mind.
Also the most accessible. Like when I started running, all I had was some basketball shorts and a pair of Brooks Ghosts. Which one was it? The Brooks Ghost 9. And I just wore those out over 500 miles. Like you don't need much. And I just had my phone. I just GPS Strava. It's the most accessible. In most sports, I mean, yes, cycling, you need to have the startup for it money. Cycling does pay for itself over time. When you're commuting, you don't need a car. You're going to save money on gas and oil, maintenance, etc. So many things. And it's better for you, the environment, animals, and people. Mental health is a huge thing. Running, though, is just, the love of the game has really taken over me. And I could see myself doing this as my primary forever, and just sprinkling in still some of them in my cycling, and still having cycling goals and using it as a tool in my everyday life to increase fitness and supplement my running and recovery. And the great thing about the cycling is if you incorporate it into your daily life, like when I was riding to work every day and running in my marathon training block, it increased my aerobic capacity. Let's just say every 3 miles of cycling is 1 mile running. Every day I was riding at least 8 miles to and from work, total. Let's just say I was getting like 3 miles per day extra. So like when I was riding 35 miles, I'm adding on an extra 10 miles of aerobic base per week on top of my running. So say if I'm running 55 miles a week, I'm really running I'm getting the benefit of 65, and the 70 weeks become 80. 80 weeks, 80 mile a week, is going to be a 90 mile week for me. So you got to incorporate that into it, and it's taking off impact while you're supplementing the mileage. And also the bicycle is a great tool, so you don't have to do your dynamic stretches before the run. And I kind of play it loose on like whether or not I'm going to do my static stretching after the run when I'm still warmed up to stretch, because sometimes you can overstretch, so you do need a little more spring to your pop to run. You don't always need to do so much dynamic static stretching every single day. Some people actually don't ever stretch after runs, which is crazy, and they're like amazing runners. So you got to know your body. Everyone's a little different when it comes to that stuff, but by the time I ride my bike home from work, I'm not only saving money, it's better on my mental, it's fun. I get to hit a little bit of speed extra every day that you can't hit in running. And you are warmed up for your run. You don't have to do that because you just spun the legs out. It's just got to make sure you hit that window, I think within 10 to 20 minutes that your legs are still warmed up. And then you put those shoes on, you go on your run, and you're more warmed up, and you're just good to go. You're less injury prone, you're already warmed up, your blood's flowing, etc. I still treat my first 1 to 2 miles like a warm up though. Every time I run, like a lot of the times I'm running in the 9-minute pace, so or high 8s. Then I start kind of slowly building up, and it's almost like a what is it called? A progressive run, where you just keep getting faster each mile. I'm not saying I do that every day, but it sometimes feels like that. Damn, it's already almost midnight. I gotta wake up early and go to work soon. So man, this is a really I feel like this is going to be a sporadic all over the place running style vlog breakdown of 2026 Napa. I was going to make another point about the bicycle. Oh yeah, there's an anime, Run with the Wind, where is it Kakaru is talking about speed and blah blah, and you gotta have fast runners to be on a race team, and then Haji is like, why don't you just go ride a bicycle or drive a car? Those are all faster. What is the point of running? What is running? And when you watch the anime, they do have an answer for what is running, and it's embodied in him, the one that has the knee problem, and I kind of related to that a lot within my last 2 marathons. Of like, I'm gonna run this until my legs give out. I'm gonna risk it and risk injury to go sub 3, qualify for Boston. And spoiler, if you don't want to hear it, pause it for the next 10 seconds. But the main character, the young coach in the anime Run with the Wind, he is the answer to running. He is running. You just have to watch it to know. But it's such a beautiful anime. I highly recommend it. I couldn't recommend that one more. Run with the Wind, top tier, amazing anime, really well written, loved by so many in the anime community, in the anime world, and in the running community for sure. So Run with the Wind, amazing sports anime, and it's only 1 season long, so yeah, you have no excuse not to watch it. Also, don't be filthy casual. Watch it in subtitles. In the
So all
organic language,
ducks and birds
also
and geese and
Japanese
stuff?
language is just so beautiful. Like Japanese and French, beautiful languages. They're like art. It was pretty cool. I got to run about a quarter mile, caught up with Bobby Rogers.
Getting some mileage with my homie. Let's go, baby. Bobby Rogers. And then just one indoors. We almost halfway. Shall we kill it? Let's go. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. Peace out. So got the homie Bobby.
This is Emily, my fiance.
Hi Emily, fiance Emily.
Yeah, recently.
Thanks for the just ran his first your first marathon.
My first marathon, yeah. Let's go, dude.
And you crushed it, dude. A sub 340. So just keep going from there. That's like kind of around, sky's the limit, dude. Nothing's possible.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
Comment
you.
kudos, and you're an amazing person.
Thank you. Likewise, bro.
Yeah.
Likewise. Absolutely.
Hella, yeah. We're gonna go get some nutrition, and shout out to all the beautiful people out here who attempted something great and carried your dreams across the finish line. Hella, yeah.
Outside has never made me feel more calm.
Yeah.
Like, and just at one with what's around me. Like, just going on this night run, chatting with you. Like, dude, this is the best.
It really
This
is.
is why I love running. You can't really do this in other sports.
Yeah.
And that's why it's dope.
Oh, well, very well said.
I love this shit, man. And I know you
Both got the Nike Vomero Plus on.
Yes, sir.
Just like the last time we ran with the Nike Vomero 18 with the homie, my ninja, Bobby Rogers.
What up, what up?
The high mileage mentality. A ninja is one who endures anything. All right. Peace out, Pineapple Leaf. We are strong. Ow, ow. Keep running, Rad Life.
And congratulations, massive common kudos to you. Less than 1% of the world runs a marathon, like way less than 1%, I think. And your first marathon, you got a really impressive time. You just keep positive mindset, as I know you will. You have a very extremely strong mindset, very positive attitude. You're gonna surprise yourself with how good you're gonna be in the future. You're gonna, I see you getting sub 3 like fairly quickly with your strong mental, with your strong positive and passionate attitude of running. Definitely got that dog in you. Grr woof. Oh my dog god. Pine nut. I feel like I'm gonna be leaving out a lot in this. Even though this is running for a long time, I'm gonna have to edit out a lot of uhs and stuff like that, but it'd be hoopla, flam. I'd have to say, I'm gonna have to give myself common kudos and not be too hard on myself. Could have been a lot worse. Could have not gotten my top 3 PRs.
Yeah.
that would have been horrible. I at least got a course record. I got my second best marathon ever. You know, I really like shut up for myself on that one, and you know, hopefully, yeah. Oh, and the other cool thing is too is the fans of the people. I mean, it was a lot smaller of a crowd. I did think it was kind of cool. Like there was some. I noticed how some of the people who like shut up for their loved ones there they went to every single station and cheered them on, and then were at the finish line. And I just thought that was really cool. So comment kudos to those. In support of the marathoners there was a lot of love for people there, others there, and it's nice to and it's just, you know, it's just nice that people showed up like that for the marathoners, because it is war out there. Like there was a lot of suffering for a lot of people, and you know, it wasn't one of those marathons where I just went out for a good time. Like it was possibly. It was, I don't know if it was my most suffered marathon. Maybe. It might have been my worst marathon for suffering. I don't know. I've had some pretty bloody ones down there even. So the antibiotics, infected toe, like the stresses and everything else in the body, the way it was off, and just the anxiety I had from like everything. It was definitely in my top. Definitely top. I can easily say top 5 worst marathons as far as suffering. But considering what I went through, with not thinking about it too much, top 3.
Most brutal for sure. Marathons that I've raced.
My first Napa Marathon, where you could see, it wasn't the cold exactly. I did get a blister. I almost pulled my groin muscle. You could see snow on the top of Mount St. Helena, and the beginning was actually freaking cold. And some of the water got in my shoes and stuff from the kind of off and on misty rain from the night before and during the race. It didn't rain like a lot during the race, but just like I think a teeny weeny bit, but there was still like a lot of water on the ground. Not like a lot, but really good course. I'd recommend it. I'll be running it again. Having that many things go wrong in one race is pretty extreme. I can't really. I would like to not foresee that happening again. Who knows? But even if things can get worse, knowing me, it's not an option to quit. Quitting feels way worse than the pain you're going to suffer through on a marathon like that. So I'm glad I'm not a quitter. Effort way of the ninja. A ninja is one who can endure anything. A ninja endures, and you show up. And then afterwards, I got to meet. I would have thought I'd see the day where someone would see my YouTube and recognize me. Andrew, I'm gonna post that footage now.
Loading.
I know. Thanks. I really appreciate that. What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew. How'd you do in your race?
I got 3:12, 50, and 40 in my age group. That was my first one.
That is awesome. Congratulations. That is rad life. So he actually recognized you from my YouTube channel. So that is going to be inspiring me to keep uploading because I haven't uploaded in like a month. This is your first race and you got a 3:12? That is seriously amazing. Holy crap, that's really good. Because my first one was I ran one in my training, like right under 9-minute pace for myself, and then I ran a 3:42 or something in San Francisco. So for your very first marathon, a 3:12 is crazy. Like that's really good. Yeah. What's your do you
inspirational, so yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is I can't. Yeah.
I like how you in your videos you say that you keep the ninja away.
Have you ever watched Naruto?
Yeah.
Yeah. A ninja is one who endures.
Animes I watched fully.
That's definitely one that like. Yeah, it's been a huge inspiration. It makes me want to train harder, and I'll definitely make a video on this. I gotta put you in. I can't believe it's like anyone recognized me. Yeah. So Andrew, right?
Yeah.
Hug, man. Dude, congratulations. That's huge. Yeah. Just keep pushing because 3:12 for your first marathon.
Yeah, I used to do drugs for 10 years, and then every kind of drug, and then I had an Achilles rupture, and then
Holy crap.
I stopped. I was so depressed, and then I basically got out of it and stopped like 2 years ago, or last year. I stopped last year.
That is, wow. That actually inspires me to because, you know, I've been in some dark places too I can relate to having to pull yourself up when you've had nothing, you know, by yourself, nothing. That's super strong of you. So you definitely have the ninja way in you. That is seriously inspiring. You traded in one addiction for the other. Traded in the drugs for the mileage addiction. That is
like I could
for
barely
health.
breathe every day because I was just trying to suffocate myself through the darkness. It was tough, and that's why I felt I could relate somewhat to your videos. And you're very inspiring in those videos.
Dude, you make me want to cry. Oh my gosh.
That's also a little part of why I chose this one as my first.
Dude, are you serious?
Yeah.
I can't even. Dude, I can't even believe that. How did you find my YouTube? Like, it just kind of randomly popped up to do some
Well, this is also one of the closest marathons to my hometown. I'm from San Jose, so
Yeah, it's a good course.
yeah. And I felt like I just wanted to choose it because you guys.
That's awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Cheers. Hella yeah. Dude, so you're San Jose, I'm Santa Rosa. We meet in Napa, and that is how if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
31.
31.
Yeah, I haven't ran in like 10 years and didn't exercise for 10 years. I was just,
You had an Achilles rupture and overcame drug addiction. That is crazy. Damn. And you just ran your very first at 3:12. Yeah, you just oh my gosh, that's really inspiring. Damn.
real soon.
I'm kind of like at a little bit of a loss for words.
Thank you. You run even faster than me, so.
But still, like, you gotta, like, yeah, it's just,
I think one quote I took from you was from the videos is that you started also from the very back and then you started just picking people off because you started really late.
that's what I did today too again.
That's what I did too because I went to the back.
You were late today too?
Yeah, and when I was warming up, they were doing the they were doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
And then I lined up at like the 5-minute or 6-hour group.
Yeah.
And then so I was like, my goal is 3:30 or better today.
Dude, you crushed that.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Your goal was 3:30?
Yeah.
Damn. Dude, oh my god. Oh my not god. You're very inspiring. Yeah. Wow. You're gonna hit sub 3. Like, just keep training, just keep pushing. You know, the more, because even just by running with career mileage, you're just gonna get better and better. You're just gonna keep PRing, you know. Like, that's one of the things I learned. If you just keep like doing the mileage of just running and maintaining, you just keep PRing.
I never did any training plan. I just built from like 1 mile every day, and then 2 miles every day, and then 3 miles every day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a good plan though. That's smart.
Yeah.
Like, just
Slowly.
incremental. It's like it's almost kind of like a 10% rule. That's kind of what Hella Good did when he first started his running streak. His goal was just to run 10 minutes a day or something like that, and then now he's running like a minimum of like 5 to 7 miles or something a day, or probably more. Dude, that's so crazy.
It was 70 miles a week, and then after
That's
that,
really
I got shin splints.
Dude, yeah, that's the hardest part about running. They say is like just all the stressies, and you just, it's like, yeah, it's not the most dangerous, like, you know, as in cycling and stuff, but as far as body impact and getting to know your body, and like it's the number one burning calories per minute, and like all the pain pounding, you gotta just know how to back off and like not get injured and stuff, and like all the like little injuries, you know.
Do you run on trails sometimes or treadmill?
Yeah, to switch it up. I mostly trails if I want to switch it up. Mostly road though for the training, and
I think that was my mistake why I got shin splints, because I didn't get stability shoes, and then I was also just pounding pavement,
yeah,
the sidewalk,
yeah,
the whole time.
We should, yeah. I mean, you live in San Jose? I was gonna say maybe I'd be down to do a run with you sometime. Maybe put that on YouTube or something. I'm gonna meet my my friend Bobby too.
We're in the area.
Yeah. So you're going back to San Jose though?
Yeah.
If you're also in Santa Rosa ever, and maybe I'll try to make my way to come see you. I mean, nice to meet you again, Andrew, right?
Yeah.
Holy crap! Seriously, it's so inspiring. Do you mind if I put this on my YouTube?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, you're inspiring me to be better, version of myself, and that is, I want. Yeah, and if you have any questions, I'll give you my number after this, so you can feel free to, because this is kind of like, honestly, you're definitely like impacting me. So
You did too to me.
like the fact that that's like the biggest compliment to me, that I've actually had an effect on someone that like saw my YouTube channel, because I've sometimes wondered, like, does anyone even,
That's
like,
why, That's why I had to come up, because I wanted you to keep going.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta be better about that. I'm sorry for not uploading as much. I gotta get on that.
I believe that you will get more followers than just me, because you're like, people watch it.
Yeah, I think I'm slowly getting better at not being as robotic with it, So, man. Oh, anyway, I'm really.
Do you want me to give you?
I'm gonna give you my Peace out, rad life, hella yeah. Congratulations, comment kudos to Andrew on his first marathon. Absolutely killed the goal, like crushed it. Good. I'm super inspired. All right, peace out.
That is going to inspire me to just keep pushing and get another PR and run Boston someday. Andrew's story is amazing. Like, what a true tough, mentally and physically tough person. And just a tremendous comment kudos to his 3:12 marathon. Like, for your first marathon is huge, and he's from San Jose. Great job. Keep running rad life, Andrew. Stay safe out there on your runs. And thanks for being a subscriber and for giving me the motivation and comment kudos that I have. The fact that someone recognized me at the marathon and saw my previous breakdown of the Napa Marathon and ran it because of me. There's times where I'm like, man, is anyone ever gonna watch these? Like, I think I'm up to 156 subscribers. From 0 to 156, you never know. I just need to be more consistent. But sometimes you're just like, is this even worth it? Like, I got so much going on. But that right there has inspired me to keep going. And also, I know this probably won't make it to the vegan cyclist, but what the hell happened to one of my true life heroes, the vegan cyclist, VC Adventures? He hasn't posted anything in I don't know, numberless days at this point. It feels like numberless to me. Anyone know what's going on with the vegan cyclist? Please come back. The vegan community needs you. 2-time endurance champion of America. So yeah. Anyway, thank you, Andrew. Your story really did have really impacted me, and the effort that I put in is the fact that I could even be an inspirational light to one person. That really makes me feel appreciated, seen, recognized. It's definitely warm when people feel your sunbeams rain down on them, and those gamma rays energize them, because it is what's going to keep me going, that my light has reached others. And sorry about not being able to upload as much recently. I'm doing a lot, and I'm doing a lot at work, in my training, and outside of taking other things on. So just know that it's a lot to be able to try to get this pumped out. I hate when I can only post once a month. I just need to be more disciplined and just do it. Nike really has it right in their slogan of just do it, dude. I do that in my training. The body in motion stays in motion. It's not always about motivation. So that's the majority of the course. Amazing race. It was kind of it was a really short, odd training block after CIM, and I didn't get the PR, but I guess I'll take it with everything I had going against me. And it was an experience I would not trade for anything. I got to run with some really great people, from Bobby, and getting to meet Andrew really topped it off. And I just couldn't be more grateful. Having an attitude of gratitude is important, of that kind of mindset, staying positive, and being able, because that's what you picturing yourself winning is so important. I used to picture myself everything going wrong and losing, and picturing yourself not making it. I still went through things and did the marathons and stuff, and I was still having amazing times that I should be proud of. but the most I think I would always picture myself winning and being positive, having almost like that more of a like David Goggins mentality, was pre-CIM of December, and kind of before this one, but I had a lot going against me. And for the most part, both of them, they were my 2 best marathons. You know, I mean, yeah, I've PR'd a lot, but I would say picturing yourself winning, taking your dreams across the finish line, being confident, being true to yourself, keeping true to your promises to yourself in your training, and hitting your daily runs, your daily mileage, your long runs, your speed runs. The speed runs are what I think have really carried me to that sub 3 PR, is where I was extremely consistent. I didn't miss a single Sunday speed run. I think in the CIM block or the Napa block, even though short, 5 weeks, and the mini taper speed runs, because you're staying consistent. You're just and you're keeping the consistency in your taper. Mine was more of a 2-week taper, and you are just lowering the mileage by a lot. I think the first week I lowered it. I mean, I actually did a lot more Zwifting indoors. I think it was like 50 miles on Zwift with a pretty good amount of elevation gain resistance, and it was a nice switch up of it, like not being on the elements outside as much in the elements. So, but I think I ran like 27 miles my first taper week, and the next one was I did 7 miles, like a little over 7 in the last week because of my doctor was telling me not to run, but I still ran twice.
Mountain biking.
But I just cycled more.
Line road.
So it was like a 3-week taper. Might have been 30, 27.
That's oatmeal.
30 plus 27, and then 7. But like with increasing my cycling mileage. I don't know. You can look at my Strava, Joey Moselle, JoeyMousel, on Santa Rosa, City of Roses, and so I think in this breakdown, I've added more to the Napa gap of information that I haven't previously. So if you combine all of my Napa videos, yeah, it's still overall a great course. It was just a bad day, and we're allowed to have bad days, and there will be brighter days. And unfortunately, it was just the stars were not aligned that day. Unfortunately, the sun just didn't rise for me quite the way radiate on me like it did others that day, and that's fine. It was satisfying when I finally hit that CIM PR Boston qualification, and this time it'll be the same when I hit the next one. So anyway, I guess hopefully there was a good amount of information in there for you guys to pick apart from, and thank you to all. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to be notified of my videos. Watching the videos, and to the true pineapple leaf that made it to the end of this video, here's some bonus footage as well. I really applaud you, and you can donate pineapple leaves to me, to the work homies at the pineapple leaf, to my shrine, where all the lights only shine on me, and to my shrine that you can donate the pineapple leaves to, in my like anarchist propaganda statue picture. Statue. And true egalitarian, no gods, no masters. There are rules, just no rulers. Full-blown democracy. For the planet, people, and humanity, go vegan. And what else? Yeah, so anything would help the channel grow, the algorithm. Subscribe. It's completely free to do so. Just support. Like, you don't have to, like, you're not asking for donations or anything like that. Just subscribe. It's free. Hitting the like button is huge. Leave a comment if you can, even if it's something simple, just like hella yeah, or like rad life, or whatever that version is for you. I would like to see what your version of that is. And anything that is eluding me in this video, because I'm really kind of just I'm not super on track course. I'm really kind of like off trail right now. Is ask any questions about the marathon in particular that you might have. about my training, any questions about whatever it may be with running or cycling, and really just in general. Like, I'll do my best, and I will do the best of my abilities to answer that. If you have any specific questions, especially about the course, anything else about my training that I missed. I think, again, I also had like 7 gels on that run in the marathon. I did the Mortons again, and I had my Rockstar 240 milligram caffeine punch drink with the extra sugar, with the sugar content, and I put a scoop of C4 into that as well, which was like another 200 milligrams that I drank on my drive out to the course. So yeah, fruit and bagels I think in the morning too, or a bagel. Like I said, I think I was pretty inflamed.
Not sure I will run in that tight kit again.
I just felt heavy. Anyway, that's that. Here's some bonus footage. Hasta la pasta, pineapple leaf. Keep running rad life. Joey the Jackalope out. Running down that rabbit hole goes on forever. Nothing could be better. Bask in the glory of the grapes.
Look at that shaping in the marathon. That can happen during a marathon. That armpit.
No hills are hidden to me.
Happened to my arm. Happened to my right armpit as well. As you can see, that's how much your body works in a marathon. Even from your arm swinging, it can even from your arm swinging motions, it can have that much of a chafing effect on your body.
Well, I got some bad blistering, and my toe I don't think it really bled through too much. I think there is a little bit of blood. Blister there. I felt that during the race. But it didn't pop. Not too bad. Marathon was a war that tests you whether or not you are a coward. It is a test to test whether or not you are a coward. The marathon gives us that war. Alright, taking off the bandage, and yeah, it bled. Man, I really hope I didn't set myself back too far. Okay. Some bleeding. It doesn't smell. I think I'm in the clear. So, this is not for the faint of heart. Damn. Yep. That might be pussy. That might be still slightly infected. Yep. I'm gonna ride the bike for a while. This is... At least I didn't get sepsis.
Well, I am way behind the start line. Like 6 minutes. Past us to the start. I guess if I get a PR, I'm gonna be pacing myself. If I get a PR, the only way to hit my first goal, my 8 goal, is pacing myself and catching the sub 3 marker pacers.
All right, about to get down on the Gardein Ultimate Step 8 trek. Hella high protein, the protons that you absorb in little balls of protons. That's how it works, right? I'm about to also get that black bean refried, some drinky poos. I'm gonna get all crazy on it. About to go all crazy on them, Jose. And I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm not gonna do like all the rice and everything, you know, guacamole and the El Flappy bread, also known as tortillas, and what else? Vegan sour cream, some beans. What else? I'm trying to put some peppers and stuff in here and spices. Right now, oh, obviously salsa. So, but yeah, they're gonna be kind of simple. And this is more so what they look like. This is not Instagram worthy, nothing like that. I'm just putting together some high protein burritos and gonna go all crazy on it. About to eat the fuck out of these. About to eat the shit out of them.